Alright, Mo. You said you wanted a video on, or rather a training session on freaking Guilty Gear. Alright, so how to play Guilty Gear. Mostly broke it down to learning the game mechanics, which is like meter, the wall break system, bursts, you already know all that stuff, and like combo potential. There's also the risk bar that's like right underneath the burst. We'll get into that in a sec. The next thing is learning your character, what type of movements they have, cancels, what buttons cancel into what. Like for instance, this 6P right here is like upper body invincible, but not everybody can cancel it into like special moves. After that, there's like learn ways to get in, then learn matchups, then after that it's just learning your opponent. So I suppose we'll get started on learning the game mechanics. So at the bottom you see the meter there. You can only spend 50 at a time, which is like 50%. Yeah. So with that, you can do 4 types of Roman cancels. The first one is blue. When you hit the blue one, the opponent slows down. So if I were to just do like a regular kick, I have like a ton of time in order to hit confirm, but otherwise I can't. So for instance, this move right here, if I were to hit this, but if I were to do it like this close, the second one doesn't actually combo. So it just massively increases any hit stun or block stun during that time period, and also slows them down. So they have to be actually really honest when they actually get affected by this blue Roman. Practical applications for it. Say you get sweep. You hit that one. Now their wake up is a lot slower, and they have to respect everything you do because they're not just gonna poke you out. Like for instance, Soul right here. This kick right here is 3-frame startup. It'll beat nearly everything in the game, unless it's invincible or a meaty setup. So if you don't feel like dealing with it, or you actually want to punish him for doing that, you can just hit that and force him to play the game. So let's set him to do that one kick. Throw. There we go. Alright. Yeah, so it makes it a lot easier to hit confirm in the beginning. If they're gonna press buttons, they have to pick twice. It also really messes up their wake up timing. So you can do a lot of things with this blue Roman cancel. Admittedly, I'm still exploring a lot of the uses for it. Like for instance, if I were to air dash in, I could hit one of these to slow down their 6P so that I can punish the 6P coming down. But like I said, I'm still exploring a lot of the options, and you'll definitely see more tech inside the Discord. Alright, next thing, you have red Romans. They send out shockwaves so that you just combo some more. You will always get an extra opportunity to combo so long as this shockwave hits. So Let's see here. Here you go. So if the shock wave doesn't hit, you don't get the combo. But that's basically it for the red Roman. It's just a combo thing. Now the next one is purple Roman. Purple Roman is done anytime you either whip a move or you delay a move. So say you hit this normal right here, and you burst. Well, not burst, the Roman. I can do the same thing, but I can delay it a little bit. This way, if you whiff stuff like, say this one right here. Ah, the guy died. Alright. Check health back on. So, turn off all these counterattacks. Okay, so this move right here is actually negative. So you actually get punished if you don't use it at the correct ranges. But if you're, say you're trying to call them out by hitting like an extra low. So you hit like what, this, that. And then now you're punishable. What you do is, once you get here, you can just hit the purple Roman in order to be safe. So long as it's not during like a freeze frame of every time you hit, it doesn't turn into a red Roman. The last one is yellow Roman. What it does is, it's basically a get off me tool. If the opponent gets hit by it, you're plus. But if the opponent blocks it, you push them away, but you're a little bit minus. So figure out how to counterattack afterwards. But make sure you use it on like moves that have like long recovery times. That way you can guarantee that they're not just going to sit and block it and punish you afterwards. So real quick, back to purple Romans. Any projectile in the game, even if it hits, you will only get purple Roman. So you can use stuff like projectile, then run in and cover yourself. Same thing in the air. Okay, so the last thing about Romans that I need to talk about is the ability to, not really a dash cancel, but move while using Romans. See how like there's like a shift? You can use it in 4 directions, which is up, down, left, and right. So, say I'm using this. This dash attack is punishable, but I can slide backwards in order to keep myself safe. So it turns into like a safe poke at the cost of 50 meter, but it's a safe poke, and you're just covering options. Likewise, you can also use it to combo. It's set up like OP and whatnot. So, those are the Romans. So supers, you already know supers. Each character has their own specific supers. Normally one is for damage and utility, and the other one is for like meter reversal. So for Kai, this one is his invincible startup super, and this one is like his utility one. It's just a stupidly fast projectile on startup, and hits 5 times. And also leaves you room to combo afterwards. So the next thing we can talk about is the risk meter. It's the little gray bar at the top, right underneath the burst bar. And what happens is, let me just set it to max. Anytime you hit your opponent's guard, the risk gauge increases. And once it's full and you get that exclamation point, the next hit that you land on your opponent will automatically be a counter hit. And hit scaling is also decreased, and your damage is also slightly increased. So let's say I do this. That's 234. Now let's turn off the risk. And just put on counter hit. Just regular. So it's a lot less damage, because the scaling isn't as decreased as in risk mode. So there are characters that can do touch of death combos if the risk gauge is completely full. So the game is all about putting on pressure on the opponent. Just max out the risk gauge, and then once you get the hit, just blow them up. So yeah. So those are all the meters. The last mechanic is just the wall. What happens is, if you smash through the wall, right at the bottom, you can notice my tension gauge. It starts increasing. It slowly increases, also increases the amount you gain every time you hit or block. So it's always a good idea to break through the wall, unless you're trying to abuse like the corner by stopping them from resetting neutral. It's always a toss-up of which one you should do, but if you're already full on meter, there's no point in breaking the wall, unless you want more damage, or there's a benefit to being big screen. Last thing to note about that is, let's see here, let's turn off that counter hit. Alright. So, first thing you'll notice is, when at round start, I can hit this button, and it'll reach. Now, if you burst the wall, they're a lot further away if you hit them with a super. Now, let's hit them with something that's not a super. Alright. Alright. So now that we're back here, they're a little bit further away. So just mind which buttons you use when round starts up again. Because these norms used to hit, but now they don't. So just watch out. Some setups won't work. And the last thing about walls is, if you break them using special moves or normals, you will both stand up at the same time. But if you were to break through it with a super, they will be on the ground on hard knockdown, so you can run up and put pressure on them. Alright, so that's the last thing for game mechanics in Meter.